Hello, hello, hello. Here we are again. Welcome to the Robin Joy Show, where I'm your host, Robin Joy. Tonight is going to be an exciting night tonight. We have some very, very special guests, and I like to title my shows. And the show title for tonight is Help is on the Way. Help is on the way. This the show tonight is going to be about nonprofit organizations. We have two extraordinary guests that's going to tell us about the organizations that they have started. These two people are extraordinary. They're doing great things for the community. And without further ado, I can't wait to introduce them to you. The guests for tonight are we have Mr. Derek Bridges, and our second guest for tonight is Miss Marcella Thompson with her daughter. So, without further ado, let's get started. I am excited to have all three of you here tonight. And I'm excited for you to tell me and the guests and our audience tonight what your organization is about. So, before we get started, I'm going to give you a little synopsis of how the podcast is going to go. Well, first we start off with, I like to call it the round robin. I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to call you out, ask you questions, and you're going to answer. We're going to answer back and forth. And also, we're going to try to have a little fun with this. So without further ado, let's start with Mr. Derek Bridges. If you would tell us what's the name of your organization and what it stands for.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody is well. Um, my organization is Happy Roots Entertainment. Started Happy Roots Entertainment back in 2005. And what came to my mind when I started Happy Roots Entertainment, I used to go to all these functions. I used to pay to get in all these functions. And I said to myself, if I got to pay people to go see their events, why can't people pay me to come to my events? So that's where the name Happy Roots Entertainment came from. And Happy Roots Entertainment means people being happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Roots meaning our race of people. Make no difference what color you are. We all come from the same creator. So that's our roots. And then entertainment is just doing just doing a number of things,
I, I,
the trail bikes and
I,
stuff
I,
like
lo-
that.
I love that name, Happy Roots Entertainment. And I
Yes.
like what it stands for. Um, happy as we all want to be, roots as our history, not only Black history, but the human race and entertainment. I love that. I love that philosophy. So, Derek, you said you started this back in 2000 and give me that number.
2005.
2005. So with Happy Roots Entertainment, what are some of the things that you do for the community? What entertainment have you brought forth to the community? Do you
Okay.
and then the second question is, do you have your events just in Durham? Do you venture out? Tell us a little bit about some of your events.
Okay. Now my Happy Roots Entertainment, we do stuff in the community. We have a Happy Roots Entertainment outreach
Mm-hmm.
where I don't know if y'all familiar with the trio bikes. They used to put a bike tree downtown at the tobacco place downtown Durham,
Mm-hmm.
and we was part of that along with Habitat for Humanity and the Tobacco Road downtown and the Durham Bulls stadium. So we was part of that. We did it for like about 3 or 4 years, where we take a tree for Christmas, and the tree is made of brand new bicycles.
Oh,
So after after we take the tree down and all the bikes, because it take like 250 bikes to build that tree, brand new bikes. So we would take the bikes down, and we would give the bikes out to the kids in the community during Christmas.
so where who are the bikes donated? How do you get the
Yeah,
bike?
the bike. Yeah, people they donate. People would donate bicycles. They were brain bikes, and it was just donate. People were just giving out bikes. Just wanted to be a part of this great community. So and the way that started is that we had did a basketball Christmas tournament at the old Durham High, now the
Mm-hmm.
School of the Arts. So we did
Mm-hmm.
a basketball tournament, and I had this lady. I didn't know this lady, so she heard about it. She said, Mr. Bridges, she said, I like what you're doing. I see you giving out toys during halftime at the Christmas basketball tournament. I said, yes. He said, well, I want to send you some bicycles. I said, what? I didn't know this later now. I
Mhm.
normally don't answer nobody call, but when God say pick up the phone, you pick up the phone. So
Right.
I picked up the phone and she said, yeah, I'm gonna send you some bicycles. You just thinking somebody is talking. You don't know the person. Sure. 3 days later, it was about 5 bikes at the door in the boxes that FedEx had shipped. So that's how we started that trio of bikes.
And I remember that. I remember seeing that downtown at the Tobacco Road facility, seeing those bikes there. That's extraordinary that your organization was behind that, the founder of the Tree of Life bikes.
Yes.
And I mean, what a creative way to um to have bikes as a Christmas tree and then give them out to the community. That's awesome.
And
I'm
they look
gonna
and the
jump.
bikes, not only we gave out bikes, but the brand new helmets came along with the bikes,
Oh,
which
that's
was
awesome.
amazing.
That's awesome. So, Miss Marcella, tell us a little bit about your organization and how did you get started? If you would start with the name first, I love the name of your organization.
Well, hello everybody, and thank you for Miss Robin for having me on your show. I appreciate it. The Mustard Seed Project started officially 2.5 years ago. Um, the Lord says, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, you can speak to the mountain, and the mountain must move. And so I moved to East Durham, and in my community, there were so many families with children who the mothers were trying to work and they were not earning enough money to kind of take care of their kids properly, but they were trying to work.
Mm-hmm.
I started by, I'm older. I'm everybody's grandma, great grandma, mama, whatever, auntie, whatever I needed to be. And I would meet the kids after school. They get off the school bus and they'd be hungry. And, we would have snacks. Sometimes it would be a situation where mom is working and I would make a bunch of soup and grilled cheese sandwiches and take my little blue wagon to each door and drop off a pot of soup and grilled cheese so that when she comes home, she doesn't have to worry about her children having food. We started officially in 2019 in conjunction with the Durham public school system. There was a CHAMPS grant. It was called the CHAMPS grant that Durham was able to get along with 5 other cities in the country. And they provided help for the summer. We had summer camp right out my back door under a tree. And Durham Public Schools provided the breakfast and the lunch. So we had the children from about 8:30 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon.
About how many children would you feed in a day?
Anywhere from 45 to 50.
Wow.
That's how the summer camp started.
Mm-hmm.
But I would take my little blue wagon and carry individual casseroles or individual pots of soup and sandwiches to the doors. And then we started with groceries and clothes and furniture, and it just grew from there. And it's just a matter of, it just takes a little bit to show people that they're important. And if you have people trying to help themselves, the systems don't really work well. Because if you work, you may not be making enough money to completely care for your family, but you can't get any help if you're working. And so I had moms trying to work, some of them trying to go to school, and I saw a lot of ramen packages in the trash.
Oh
And
boy.
that's not what children should be eating. So we now have graduated in these last 2.5 years into the Mustard Seed Project. And we help with nutritious food. We have partnerships with the Black Farmers, Tall Grass, bakeries, some supermarkets. People will donate to us. And it's basically whatever you need, we're going to try to take care of you all in one place at one time.
I
And
love
do it
that.
with dignity. Do it with dignity
I
because
love that. So the organization is called the Mustard Seed Project.
project.
I
Yes,
love
ma'am.
it. And another question that I have for you too is, I know you, Miss Marcella, you were saying how you saw a need for the community which you resided in, and because of that need, that grew your organization. And so I see that you started off with the Durham Public Schools providing funding, and now you have branched out that you named some other organizations or some other businesses that help you with supplying the food. Are you the only one now that works that organization? Do you have help to prepare the food and to make sure that you give people the resources that they're looking for at that particular time in their
Well,
life?
because of Miss Robert, because of COVID, it is. We have privacy issues, which I want everybody to know that we do things with dignity and respect and
Mm-hmm.
in order. And because of COVID, because we go into food processing plants, we go into backs of grocery stores, we go into the bakeries, things like that. We have to be totally careful about our volunteer situation. Before COVID,
Okay.
we could have some volunteers come in and help us and do some other things, but because of COVID, we have to be extremely careful with what we do. So right now it's Alexandra and me and Jesus. So that's what we do.
So you two are taking on this task along with Jesus.
That's right.
Awesome.
Can't do any better.
And you know what? And when you have Jesus on your side, it's like you said, nothing is too big for Jesus. And
Yes.
I love that it takes the faith of a mustard seed.
Hmm.
And that's what you're operating on. You're operating on that faith of a mustard seed. If you're doing all of this, just you two,
Yes,
that is amazing.
the Lord has
Amazing.
blessed us. We also have done. I was very blessed to be able to get COVID vaccines donated in from the CDC supply for Walgreens. Alex and I were the first and the second people in the country to get the COVID vaccine for Walgreens, and they did it live on Good Morning America and World
That
News
is
Tonight.
awesome. I mean, Miss Marcella, you are incredible. Now, you were referred to me by a very good friend, and she told me, she was like, "This woman here is awesome," and she was right. You are amazing. You're doing all of this, just you and your daughter, with,
Yes,
with
ma'am.
no with no big volunteer group. That's awesome. And I'm
No,
gonna,
we have to do. I feel as though we all can do a little bit. Now, not everybody's crazy like me and just works 24/7 and all of that, but all of us can do something
that's so
to
true.
make life better for the people around us. People most of the time say, well, I don't have any money and I'm not educated, or I'm not this, or well, you don't have to be everything. You can do what you can do. And I try to meet people where they are. And you'd be surprised at how um, helpful you can be just by the gift that God gave you. My grandmother would say to me all the time when I was a little girl, she'd say, God gave everybody a gift. You
That's
find
so
out what
true.
yours is and you use it to the best of your ability.
I
And that's
believe
what I've
that.
tried to do. And that's what I've tried to teach my children.
I believe that. And Dirk, I have a question for you. Now, with your Happy Roots Entertainment, is it a target group that you um do your community outreach service to? I know like the bikes is for the youth. Is that your concentration? Or
No,
do
no, we do so much within the neighborhood. On Thanksgiving, we feed the elderly down at JJ Henderson Towers. We get them a Thanksgiving dinner where the food is cooked and prepared by us, the ones that involve, along with my cousin Stephon Green, and we take the food down with a DJ, serve
Mhm.
them on Thanksgiving, have them dancing and having a good time. Now that's Happy Roots Entertainment feeding JJ Henderson Towers for Thanksgiving. Now that's not the only thing. We go back to the kids Easter baskets along with the Zappa Temple. we go and give Easter baskets out to the kids. When I say it'd be like over 100, 200 kids that we give out Easter baskets to, then we have a cookout for them right there on the grounds at the Zaffo Temple. So we do so much, and then ANC Honors. ANC Honors is North Carolina Honors, where we dedicate and honor people within the state of North Carolina. We do it at the Hayti Heritage Center. So we didn't do it last year because of the COVID. And year before because of the COVID. Now, NC Honors, we honor some of the best. We honor the late great Skippy Scarborough, the late great Irvin Hester. We honor the athletic director down at North Carolina Central, Miss Ingrid, one of the vice president of Duke, Miss Cheryl Brewer. So we honor some folks. We just don't target one section of people where we do kids, older. We just do it all. So we just glad to be a part and give what we can give in the community. So we just do a lot
about funding. Are you being funded by any organization? How do you
now
how are you able to do this?
Now me and my cousin Stevon Green, we normally pay out of pocket. But I know at NC Honors we have a catering company. The catering company, they cater the food. They sponsor the food for us because at NC Honors, it's all a black tie event, red carpet and everything. So folks come out looking so fresh and so clean, good food, having a good time, live band, live performances. It's just amazing. And Minnie Fort Brown, she was on the board of education here in Durham. Yep. And we honored her one year. And she called me the next morning, her and her daughter. They like, Derek, we had so much fun at NC Honors. We thought we was at the BET Awards. See, that's the mindset that we want to give folks.
I love it.
You know, dress to impress. Come out looking good. We're gonna feed you, live entertainment, and I'm gonna tell you how God works. So, Blake Strayhorn, he was the director for Habitat for Humanity. So our first NC Honors, we honored him, which he's a white guy. So I was like, when I was putting everything together, you know, I have to pick the song that I want the person to sing for the person that we honor. And I was like, what can I pick for Mr. Strayhorn? So it's this guy that do a James Brown show. Sounds just like James Brown. So I called him, and before we brought Strayhorn on stage, he performed James Brown with the live band. So after the show was over, Mr. Strayhorn came to me and my cousin Stevon Green. He said, "Man, how did y'all know this was my favorite song?" My cousin looked at me and said, "No, he don't want to put it together. I didn't know it was your favorite song. When God tell you to do something, that's what you go with." And when I say he was so impressed, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Then let me while I'm on NC Honors, let me say this. Now NC Honors presents North Carolina Finest. North Carolina Finest, October the 24th at the CCB Plaza, downtown Durham, in front of the board. You know, we grew up. You know, we used to go to church dressed nice, dressed so, you know, so clean, so fresh and so clean. But then you see the young kids coming up wearing saggy pants. You get this, you know, they don't care how they dress, they don't care how they look. Looks is very important.
Right.
So on October the 24th at 3:30, we got men of all races meeting us downtown Durham, dressed so fresh and so clean, because we all are classics men, and we just gonna give them a photo shoot, show them how real men supposed to dress. We got my Newkirk coming out with the drone. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing.
And what's that date again, Derek?
October the 24th at 3:30. Then after we take the photo shoot, you know, looking so fresh and so clean, then we're going down to the Durham Food Hall. They're gonna have us down at the Durham Food Hall, and we just gonna meet, eat, and fellowship after October the 24th with the photo shoot.
I love it, and that's dedicated to the men.
So if you got young men that you want to put on fresh and so clean, they can come out also to see how grown men supposed to dress.
Yeah, I think that's great what you're doing, Derek. And it would be nice that if the men who have sons bring their sons dressed so clean. So that would be nice.
Exactly.
And Miss Marcella, a question for you. I was going to ask this question to Derek, but I wanted to know what would be one of your really success stories. And Derek, what you just told us, I think is a very good success story about how God intervened and you came out, you had the exact perfect song for that person that you honored that night. That was nothing but God. Like you said,
Amen.
you had no way of knowing,
No idea. No
no
idea at
idea.
all. When he
And for
said
the
that was his
perfect
favorite
song
song by
like that,
James Brown, I like,
you
wow.
yeah, you
And
know
then
that's nothing but
then to
God.
have an entertainer to perform it for him
I know.
and do exactly like James Brown do it, it will never but nobody but God.
No, something like that is not by coincidence. You know, a higher power has orchestrated that. So you keep doing what you're doing, Derek. I'm very very proud of you. You are a you're in the community. Everyone knows you. You're always giving back to the community. Your Happy Roots Entertainment is very well known within the Durham community, and you just continue doing the great job that you're doing. I'm just want to let you know I'm so proud of you.
Thank
And
you. Thank you. Appreciate
continue
that.
doing what you're doing. And Miss Marcella, if you can tell us what was out of all the people that you fed and the all the charitable things that you have done for the community, what is one event or one person that stood out that you helped? If you can tell us about that.
Well, every day that I get up, it takes me a couple hours to get these old bones out the bed. But every day that I get up, I know that I'm going to make a real difference in somebody's life that day.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that really touched my heart, a lot of things touched my heart, but one thing that I can say, we have this young woman who she has 4 children,
Mm-hmm.
and she lives in my community where I live. And she's a young mom. She had her children quite young, and but she's always worked, and she's
Mm-hmm.
always tried to go to school, and she's tried to keep her children in church, and further their education as best she can. And it's difficult when you live in an environment
Mm-hmm.
that there is nobody positive for
Right.
you to look at. And it's
Mm-hmm.
hard when you're raising children alone. I don't care how old you are, how much experience you have, it's difficult to raise children alone. And being a young woman, she grew up with her kids, but
Mm-hmm.
she recently graduated from school, and she did her state boards. And she called me over and she said, Miss Marcella, I want to tell you something. And she told me that she'd gotten her license and that she had gotten her state boards. And she said, Miss Marcella, I couldn't have gotten any of this without you. Because what happens is, I'm an old woman, I've been around, and kids might get sick in the middle of the night. She'll knock on the door. I'll go and tell her what to do, or whatever happens. I look out for the children if she's not around. We feed the children. They help me, and we get to talk, and we do. But for her to say that I wouldn't have been able to do any of this, and I said, well, honey, you did all that work yourself. Miss Marcella didn't do a thing. She said, no, ma'am, I couldn't have done any of it without you. Now,
That's
for me, that meant more than $1 million.
I bet you did. I bet you did. And Derek, you sponsor NC honors. Now you're looking at a person right now, Miss Marcellus would be excellent for uh, um, NC honors because
Okay.
she's definitely doing what your organization stands for. That especially with the NC honors, she's giving back to the needy. She's giving back to the ones that people have just wrote off. She's giving back to the ones that probably don't have any hope. She's been a lifeline because I know a lot of us don't have an older person that can tell us what we need to do. And the fact that she has stepped in as a surrogate for these families and these kids, I mean, that is awesome. That
Let me say this to you, Mr. Derek.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
go to J.J. Henderson 2 or 3 times a week with the older people. And we're getting ready to start a Friday chair dance party with
Oh,
the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s music. We take fresh vegetables down to them. We do, tomorrow is Panera Bread and Bakery Day. They love that. But we go 2 or 3 times a week to make sure that they have the fresh food and the healthy food that they need, because right now, they can't get out. So not only do we help the children, but we also, myself being a senior, I also help those. That's one of our targeted apartment units that we go to take food and everything to. And God bless you for being there for them on the holidays and making sure that they know somebody cares about them. So
Thank you.
bless
I have a story to tell. Well, the last time we did it at JC Henderson, because we normally do it sometime for Christmas also. So we had the DJ to come in, right? And this guy and his wife, they was out there dancing. So after it was all over with, they said, you all made us feel so good because this is our first time ever dancing. We've been married like 20 years. We're like, what? If our DJ can make you feel that way, hey man, it's a blessing.
Hey, Derek, I think we may be onto something. Now you have your Happy Roots Entertainment and you have your DJs and older people. I know my sister is 68. She loves music. She loves to dance, but she has nowhere to go dance. I have nowhere to take her. I would love to be able to take her somewhere that she can dance.
So you know what? That means we just need to put something together.
Yes, we need to. You have to. We need to put our heads together and make something happen.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
yeah, and Miss Marcella, you were saying how you have Panera Bread and you have all these food companies, restaurants helping you with your organization. How did they get in contact with you? How did you get in contact with them? How did you make this happen?
Well, the Lord has blessed us where we've had a really loving relationship with WTVD TV, ABC 11, and Tim Pullian. As a matter of fact, we have to really commend Tim because he did 2 stories on us and he won the National Black Journalism Award this past year for those 2 stories that he did
Really?
on beat out everybody in the United States. The 2 stories that he did on us. But we have a lot of support. People see me on television all the time, and I don't have any idea how they can see me through the mask. I was just on last week because of our vaccination clinics that we're carrying on at Walgreens, and so it's usually word of mouth. Somebody we've helped has told somebody else, or so they see me on television, or they may do a story, or I may go up and ask somebody, listen, what happens to this or what happens to that? And you have not because you ask not. And the main thing is because people know that I'm very transparent. When somebody comes to me and they need help, all the questions that I ask them are, how many children do you have? How many are in your family? What can I do to help you? And we do everything: food, clothing, furniture, medical. My daughter is fluent in Spanish, so we help. We have a large Hispanic population. Sometimes we have to, go to the hospital with them, take them to the doctor, buy the medicine. Um, Sometimes we have to deal with Child Protective Services because there's a problem. Um, we try to do everything that they need, holistic approach at one place, because people can't just run around. They don't know who to talk to. They don't know where to go. And the systems are not put together so that they can be cohesive and really help people.
So do you work out of your home? Do you have a building that you
I
work in?
started.
If someone wanted to get in contact with you,
I started in my house. We had a little small 2-bedroom office building, but we're now searching for a place to be. Right now, everything is so mobile. We have 2 minivans, and we go and we pick up from wherever and we deliver all around in our routes. We are in Durham, but we also go to Henderson. We go to Siler City. There are people and we go pick up wherever.
And it's you two. It's you two that's doing this. That's
Yes.
going and picking up and
Yes.
delivering.
Oh yeah, and I'll drive the big truck too. We have to rent the big truck and go. I drive the big truck down to Andrew. Sometimes we have these people who want to donate furniture and donate different things to us. So I rent the big truck and we drive it on and load it up and come on back. Do what we have to do. So it's just a matter of doing what God. I do truly believe. I've done some fantastic things. I had a wonderful, I've lived all over the country. I've met people from the highest to the lowest. Mm-hmm. But I believe that God put me right here, right now, to do exactly what I'm doing. I tell people all the time, this is the best job I never got paid for.
You know, and when you're doing something that when you're operating in your purpose, I mean, you can't even put a price tag on that. To me, that's true happiness. When you're able to give back to the community, when you're able to see you're making an impact on someone else's life.
And Ms. Robin,
I look forward to being able to do my purpose once I finish this 9 to 5 that I have.
Guess what, Miss Robin? You're doing your purpose right now when you're bringing all of us together so that people know that there is help out there. There are people that are doing. Most people will say, well, I can't do it. I don't have the education. I can't do it because I don't have the money. I can't do it because I don't have this or this or this. Well, I'm a little old Black lady with a Social Security check, and I've got arthritis in every part of my body. I need both my shoulders replaced and both my knees replaced, but I get up every morning and I go out knowing that I'm going to make the difference in somebody's life. And that's all we need to do is try. That's all God asks of us. But we have to do it together and giving people dignity and respect. Mm-hmm. And that is the thing. That's the key. All of us can do something.
Yep. And the two things that you just noted, dignity and respect. I don't care if you give people dignity and respect, that's all they ask for, because then it makes them feel like they can achieve. I mean, just because you're at a low point doesn't mean that you should not be handled with dignity and respect. I appreciate those words of wisdom. And Dirk, do you have anything else you would like to tell?
Yeah, I want to add on to that. My biggest thing that I live by, and I've been living by ever since I was born, brought into this world, is treat people like you want to be treated. Because you know you want to be treated, like she just said, with dignity and respect. So just treat people like you want to be treated, and just know that we serve somebody that sits up high and looks down low.
Amen.
So, and just keep them first. Just as long as you keep them first, you can't go wrong. Put them in anything. Put them in everything. I'm gonna tell you, I put them in Derek Famous banana pudding, cause he make the banana pudding taste so good. Folks be calling me at night, yo man, do you have any banana pudding? But it's just God, because when I be making my banana pudding, ingredients just come to my head. That's just God.
Well, you know, God. Derek, I have not had a chance to taste your famous banana pudding. And I'm sure that Miss Marcella would probably like to have some of that famous banana pudding.
Listen, we're going to have a banana pudding showdown, Mr. Derek. I've been making banana pudding since I was 7 years old. So we're going to have...
Miss Marcella, I respect you and I love you and everything. I love you. I respect you. Don't even know you. God bless you. God bless you. But when it comes to the banana pudding, I just don't do regular. I do strawberry.
Well, look,
I do strawberry cheesecake.
Am I hearing that our next gathering may be at is it Henderson Tower? What's the name of the place? The older person.
JJ Henderson.
Yeah, JJ Henderson.
JJ Henderson. Am I hearing that we may have a banana pudding cook-off at JJ Henderson?
That's right. Put them up, Mr. Derek.
So that sound like they used to stay back in when they used to tap dance. Challenge. Sound like a challenge.
That's a challenge. So we might have to have you two back on just to talk about that and see who won. So let's try to pour something
There is
together.
no winner or loser. It's
That's
all done with
Exactly.
the Lord in mind. So
Exactly.
it's
It's
just
all
different.
it's all gonna be in fun. We all gonna eat good. That's what it boils down to at the end of the day. We're gonna have some good banana pudding.
We're gonna have a good time doing it.
Exactly. Well,
Miss
look, I
Robin,
want to thank you both for joining me tonight. This is Miss Marcella with your organization, the Mustard Seed Project. You're doing some extraordinary work for the community, and I commend you and your daughter for being who you are. We really appreciate you, and continue to do what you do.
thank
And
you.
you're welcome. And Derek Bridges, and Derek is my cousin, y'all.
Yes, that's family. That's family right there.
So, Derek, thank you so much for what you're doing to the community. Happy Roots Entertainment. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And without further ado, I'd like to say good night.
Well, can I say this before you say good night?
Yes, you can. Let's. Okay, what you
We
got?
know, we know you just been going through something with your family.
Yes.
Your brother just passed, right?
Yes.
So we
Mhm.
want to give our condolences to you and for you being encouraged enough to do this show tonight because of
Yeah,
the situation you just had.
Mhm.
So we appreciate you. We thank God for you, and may God continue to bless you.
yes.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best comfort to you and your family, Miss Robin, and continue to do what you're doing because this is your purpose.
And on
Thank
that note, we're gonna have a banana pudding benefit contest where we're gonna raise money. We're gonna give it to some organization.
All right, I love it. You heard that, Miss Marcellus? Okay, thank you all. Bye bye. Good
Bye bye.
night. Wow, what an awesome show. Miss Marcellus, the Mustard Seed Project, Derek Bridges with Happy Roots Entertainment. Remember these two. They're giving back to the community. We all can do something to help out. I'm just excited. I got a lot of ideas for community service. And if Miss Marcellus can do it with having arthritis in her hands and her back and her arms, I know I can. You can too. So next time, I'm going to interview you. Tell me what you're doing for the community. Good night.